Welcome to the inaugural lockdown marathon, the Bubble Marathon, London 2020. It's unfortunate that we can't be having a race with 40,000 people, but we are here in the bubble. Got my bump technology on. It'll flash when you're close to someone. It'll go red, and then they download the data later on. If anyone tests positive, then you can trace who you've been around. But since we're in the press conference room here all alone, I'll take these off. It's so annoying. I'll take the mask off as well, actually. I hear a lot about this Spider-Man thing that you did. I believe it was a world record at the time for running in a Spider-Man costume, was it? Spider-Man is the gift that keeps on giving of what are we talking now? 5 years ago it was, and it's probably the one thing that people really remember or associate with me. And even I run around like Canary Wharf, London, various places. I do get the odd person still, giving me a Spidey call. It's quite funny. But yeah, that was a great experience that day. I'll definitely be looking to do that again in the future. And if you want to have a bit of fun with your running, like just get yourself a costume and make sure it's a comfortable one. Like you don't want to torture yourself necessarily with the old 20, 30, 40 kilo rhino suit. I mean, go fair play if you want to do that, there's no problem, but if you really want to have some fun, dress up and the crowd will just be at you all day, they love it. Yeah, my question is, it's regarding supplements, in particular, it's the beetroot juice. Do you buy into that kind of stuff? Do you take it? Is it any good? Is it worth it? Do you see the benefits? The beetroot thing is an interesting one. It's been around a while now. The beet it shots, for example, and it's to do with the nitrates, which helps oxygen carrying capacity, and there seems to be some good evidence that it does actually work. The original studies, they were on trained and untrained athletes. They only did the beetroot loading protocol for I think 3 days maybe, and what they found is it had more of an effect for untrained athletes than trained athletes. So people thought there was no real gain there, but more recently they did a study that the loading protocol was actually a lot longer. So they went for 5 or 6 days, and they did measure the nitrate levels in the body, and that did actually have a positive effect. So I think the guidance now is untrained athletes, you can probably get over 2 or 3 days loading, and trained athletes, they're talking 5 or 6 days, I think, to get the benefits. It's definitely one that you got to get used to. It's not the nicest taste, and also don't get freaked out when you go to the toilet and you see red. It's just one of those things. Some people it just colours your pee red. It's a bit scary if you haven't seen it before, so be warned. So what's the crack with that stuff, man? Yeah, I really do like that biscuit tea. I'm not much of a tea drinker, to be fair, but give me some biscuit tea and I'll happily have that. And I'll even have it without sugar, which is a big thing for me. I quite like a bit of sweetness in my tea, but that stuff really tastes nice. Good one, Yorkshire tea. I've heard rumours that you've been sleeping in an altitude tent. Is this true? So yeah, regarding the altitude tent, I have been using one of them. It takes a bit of getting used to. I was freaking out a lot the first few times at night using it because you just feel like you can't breathe, or you're worried that it's going to take all the oxygen out. So had a few panic nights waking up, but I did get used to it. How does that differ to normal altitude, for example, in Kenya? I've been to Kenya twice actually, basically a month each time, and the training's just amazing there in Kenya. So many athletes out running every day. Really humbling experience actually, and just living a simple life. I just absolutely loved it. So the difference between simulated altitude like the tent and normal just altitude like in Kenya, with a tent it's more or less pumping extra nitrogen, so the amount of oxygen available in the actual tent is lower. It makes your body work just as hard to get that oxygen, and whereas at normal altitude the air just has less oxygen. No extra nitrogen is being pumped into the air magically at altitude. So the other difference is in a tent you're limited to how long you can spend in it. You sleep in it maybe 9-10 hours if you're lucky. At altitude Kenya, 24/7 you're breathing in that air with less oxygen. Both of these found it promotes weight loss because your body's working harder, burning more fat, just resting. It's like working hard. Yeah, we're looking at 68 half marathon split. That obviously is 2:16. All going well, then our group holds together to 25, 30k. 30k would be great, and then it looks very windy tomorrow. 15 mile an hour just normal, and 27, 28 mile an hour gusts. Plus it's going to be raining. I'm feeling good. So yeah, let's just see what happens. And the other great thing about this is there's going to be 40-odd thousand people around the world doing their virtual marathon at the same time. And if you're in London, I think it'll be brilliant if you're out there at the same time getting hammered with that wind and rain. We can definitely compare notes on that weather. This once in a lifetime unique London Marathon. It's just going to be amazing. I cannot wait.